Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we're going to be taking a look at this funny little PDW that is available to the Engineer class in Battlefield 4. This is the CBJ-MS. You probably never heard of it. I hadn't heard of it until Battlefield 4 came out, and it looks like a green Uzi. That's the best way I can describe this gun. But instead of having a standard magazine, we've actually got a drum design, so it can hold 50 rounds per mag. And you're going to see me get some long-range rocket kills here because the CBJ-MS is by no means a long-range weapon. It's not even a medium-range weapon. It's pretty much exclusively a close-range weapon. If you get any kills at medium or long range, it's pretty much pure luck or the fact that they've already been damaged. This guy behind the tree there got pretty lucky with that kill. And then I'm going to get another kill here in a second, but the guy had to have been pretty highly damaged because this gun does so little damage per shot. It's kind of ridiculous. Let's take a look at the Simthic.com weapons chart. This is a 700 round per minute weapon, and it only deals 22 damage maximum, and that 22 damage starts to drop off at around 12 meters. So very quickly you're going to get into the 6-shot kill range with this gun, and at a rate of 700 rounds per minute, that's going to take a long time to down opponents. That's why I'm using the suppressor on this weapon, because I can use all the stealth and all the advantage I can get. Now when your maximum damage is only 22, that means your average kill is going to be about 5 shots. If you can sneak a headshot into there, you can bring it down to 4 shots. If you can get 2 headshots, then it's still going to take you 3 shots on your enemy to bring him down. So it's a very, very tough gun to use in close quarters, and coupled with the rate of fire, it's really not doing you any favors. And if you don't have the ammo field upgrade, then you're going to run out of shots pretty quickly if you can stay alive long enough to use them, that is. I found I had to play very conservatively, and here I am using the P226 suppressed, and I'm actually doing pretty darn well with it versus the CBJ-MS. Honestly, your average pistol, I think, fares in the same ballpark as that weapon, since pistols actually do more damage per shot than this little SMG does. As do most of the Engineer weapons, this one also has pretty darn good hipfire with a 1.0 rating on there. So if you put the laser sight on there, you can improve it, and I'm using the laser sight to kind of counteract the suppressor that I already have on here. I think the hipfire is good enough for most extreme close quarter situations. Otherwise, you're going to want to aim down sights for anything close to medium range. That being said, this gun has pretty abysmal aiming down sight accuracy, and if you're putting the suppressor on here, it's going to take its fairly low bullet velocity of 520 meters per second and drop that down to around 300. So it's going to be very bad for shooting targets at long range. Even without the suppressor, it's still going to be really bad. Now the gun itself actually has some pretty high side-to-side recoil, and you could try putting the compensator on here, but ultimately the range of this weapon is so limited that whether you're using a compensator or a suppressor, I would say the suppressor is going to be more beneficial, because if somebody knows where you are, you're at a disadvantage with this weapon because it can be outshot by almost everything you run into. So pretty much the name of the game with the CBJ-MS is to start shooting before your opponent starts shooting. If you come around the corner at the same time, and chances are your opponent has a better weapon than you, you want to aim for the head. Try and get those lucky headshots in there to down your opponent. Otherwise, you're not going to win that firefight. Now, for some odd reason, DICE has decided to give different bullets in this game different gravitational effects. And what I mean by gravitational effects is the actual bullet drop. They fly towards the earth faster or slower in some situations, and for some reason all the PDWs have 15 meters per second squared bullet drop, which is pretty much double the velocity of the normal gravitational effect. So it makes this gun even worse at long range. If you're trying to hit somebody really far away, you're going to have to aim up, but even then, in that situation, the damage drop off is around 12.1. So you're going to have to hit them with so many shots that it's just not worth it. And like a lot of other PDWs out there, this one also lacks a foregrip slot. It actually comes with sort of a built-in foregrip, so DICE has just sort of modified the weapon stats to reflect that, and you can't install that extra attachment. So as much as I was looking forward to using essentially a green Uzi with a drum magazine and 50 rounds and just getting to love this gun, I can't. The stats on it just suck too much. When you compare it to other PDWs, and there's sort of an argument out there that PDWs are not great guns to begin with. I think some of them are extremely good, but this one here is just at the bottom of the lot there. It's got a big magazine, so I guess you don't have to reload it as frequently, but your damage per second is so bad, your recoil, your accuracy, your bullet velocity, it just doesn't have anything going for it. I mean, you would practically have to dual wield these guns to match the damage output of something like the CZ3A1, and that's a PDW also. So I mean, the damage output is just so freaking low that a lot of people actually have enough time to turn around and return fire and kill you before you can finish killing them. I mean, it happens rarely, but you'll notice that most of the time when you run into multiple targets, you only have enough time to really focus down one, and by the time you're done with that one enemy, the second one has had plenty of time to acquire you, start shooting, and you just have no chance at getting the second kill unless you're behind them. And again, the suppressor. That's kind of the fix-it for any crappy gun in this game, is putting a suppressor on there, playing in domination or team deathmatch, and just going around sort of stealthily so nobody knows where you are. Everybody's so dependent on the minimap. I myself am very much dependent on locating people via the minimap, so if you're not on that minimap, you're going to be a very hard person to find. As far as sights go, I think it's fairly self-explanatory with this one. You don't want to use anything with higher magnification than a red dot sight. This gun simply doesn't have the accuracy or distance to warrant anything with more than 1x magnification. I think to really balance out this weapon, we're just going to need to give it the bipod, like the one in real life has. No joke, this is what the real gun actually has available to it. A tactical bipod, so you can go prone in a grass field somewhere and just get crappy range and damage. I don't know, who knows, maybe this gun's awesome in real life. I kinda doubt it, but I think it's hilarious that they actually have a bipod that wraps around the barrel of the gun, because there's literally no other place to mount a bipod on this weapon except for the very tip, the muzzle brake of the weapon. Now, in all seriousness, the bipod is not going to fix the issues with the CBJ-MS. Usually I can think of something to really differentiate a weapon or try and fix it, improve its stats a bit to make it worthwhile. With the CBJ-MS, there's tons of different directions you could go with it. You could give it amazing hip fire, you could increase its rate of fire. Increasing its reload speed probably wouldn't help because it's already got decent reload speed, but you're gonna need to do something to give this gun some sort of tactical advantage. I would say either a rate of fire increase or a hip fire accuracy increase. Nonetheless, if you are playing stealth and you're using this with the engineer, rely heavily on your rockets and grenades to deal with targets at range. It's what I was doing, and it was working out pretty well because, you know, a SMAW, even for infantry combat, is still a very effective weapon. So hopefully we'll get some weapon balancing in the near future to fix up some of these PDWs, make them a little bit more viable weapons. Maybe some of the DMRs too, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to that. So anyway, if you're going to use the CBJ-MS, don't expect nice performance out of it, just use it for the aesthetics. You know, it's an interesting looking weapon, and that's about it. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what gun you'd like me to look at and review next, and I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.